Halo, nama aku Yusua dari kelas 9 Uprak. Nama aku Bima dari 9
And I'm Vino, yeah guys, hi.
And today we are going to explore
Museum Gajah.
To be honest, I am not really sure what is in there, but I guess we're gonna discover now. So enjoy the ride, man. Alright, so we just got in the museum and it seems we can look around. There's quite a lot of things, so let's just go. Let's just pick a couple of things and just take a look. First thing we see, a picture of Ganesha, which is a deity from Hindu mythology. You see that this is probably one of the bigger statues here. As you can see, Ganesha is an elephant with 4 hands. Items like axes. First thing you see off the bat, second of all, this is Siwa Mahadeva. According to this here, it is Tambu, which is like what's this? A holy animal or something. It's described or illustrated as riding Nandi, which looks to be like some kind of cow or cattle.
Okay, lanjut.
Right, next up we have this Parvati as Archa. So, as you can see here, it's a female, it's a woman.
Oh, yeah.
If you see here from the model, like their breasts are exposed, right? But if we take a little look into the context, this is pretty ancient stuff. So this is around Indonesian kingdoms, and if we take the context there, it's not like open breasts, like exposed breasts aren't really that taboo in that age. But nowadays, as modern people, we look at this and say, "Ew, that's pretty taboo. We should do that." But if we look in the context, yeah, it's fine, considering that around that time it's fine. Alright, now we're going to Chris. Chris is a sort of traditional Indonesian dagger or knife that looks a bit longer than a standard knife or a standard kitchen knife, but they're very precisely designed. So you look like this one right here. If you look at its blade, some of you anime watchers might think about Demon Slayer. See, this looks like Obanai's sword from Demon Slayer. Why? Because it has a sort of slithery-like blade, which looks like sort of a snake. Now, if you pay attention to the handle, it has sort of a very precise design. If you can see here, there's a man's face on there, and it's not just like a straight blade like other blades from other nations or even our own country. Some wrists have specifically designed handles. Zoom here. As you can see here, this is one separated, and it sort of looks like Ganesha with his elephant-like face. So as you can see, Chris are very precisely made. So behind me here is the tools that people use to make Chris. As you can see, there's sort of like a hammer, and sort of like, I don't know what to call it, sort of like something to grip or pinch on these things. As you can see on the bottom here, there's looks like these are the blades that are about to be used. However, they were not fully complete. Now these are the tools that were made to sharpen and forge these traditional Indonesian knives. Pretty cool if you ask me. Alright, so if you look at it, you've probably seen these a lot in, let's say, restaurants or other types of traditional Indonesian things. These are Dwarapala, which are basically statues designed sort of like a raksasa or a giant with holding a Gajah, which is an Indian mace. Now, the story behind these statues are placed in front of holy places considered in Hindu beliefs. And during the Hindu-Buddhist era of kingdoms in Indonesia, these were placed in front of holy or qualified places. Now this makes sense if we look over here. that place is pretty crowded, so we're just gonna look over the smaller places. So this is Nandi, which is a cow. In Hindu beliefs, cows are very holy, and because and as the guards were informed earlier, those guards were basically protecting these holified statues, holified cows, holy cow in Hindu beliefs.
Holy cow.
Alright, so this is an exhibition about ancient or old prehistoric artifacts that are found in the area. First, we got these couple of skulls here. So this skull and this, what looks like to be a jaw, seems to be an ancient hippo-type animal that seems to be found, that's in around present-day India, but I guess according to the museum's text, it says that they seem to migrate to the area of now around Java. Then we look at that big thing there. That is also a bigger fossil of a hippo, or more specifically prehistoric hippos. As you can see, its head is missing and its jaw is kind of missing, and a lot of its ribs seem to be missing. But you got the main, skull, you got the four legs, and you got the head. So it's understandable. Next, we have these massive shells of what seems to be turtles. See, they don't seem to be like completely all off the turtle. Seems you can still see the bottom there, so they were able to preserve that. As you can see, this is massive. This is bigger than a lot of modern ground turtles. Turtles. It's more like turtles. But the point is, these are actually massive if you compare them to modern day turtles and turtles. Next, we have these. Let's start with this one. This seems to be the skull of ancient or prehistoric oxen. Now, these were found in the Gajah Solo River, and it was one of the prehistoric people found around in the grasslands there, alongside the area. As you can see, this is it's pretty okay, it's around a little bigger or around the same size as modern day fauna around. This we got prehistoric, also another ox or some kind of cattle like that, but because you can see these horns are actually long. I've seen an ox that has massive horns, but I don't think it grew that big. But this is just a skull. We don't actually have, using doesn't seem to show or have the actual full fossil. Now, I'm sure you see in the background, what are these massive tusks? These are ancient elephants, specifically from the Stegodon, something like that. But these are actually
Stegodon.
These are just one of these tusks, and as you can see, compare these to like modern day elephants, let's say in around Taman Safari, you see them and they're even like half the size. These things are absolutely long, especially if you straighten that bent one over there. So these are a bunch of like art from in the traditional Indonesia. It's not like that old. It's like 19th century, as you can see, 20th century. I mean, sorry. So first of all, we got this abomination. You can see there's lots of snakes, monkeys. Monkey, you can see. It's a group of monkey sitting on a small tree. That's this insane, crazy. This is literally just a carp and a bird, invented in the 1930s. See, this is just three men squatting and covering their faces. Like, this is just straight up depression, man. What is this? Anonymous. Another, again, bird and a fish. This time seems to be a stork, and the fish is on the tail, biting on the tail. Why? And lastly, this is quite literally just a goat. We got Cristiano Ronaldo in 1930. So these are a bunch of like sort of ornaments or carvings in the temples. So first of all, this is a depiction of a village. These are, I assume this is a village. And this is like a bunch of hills. This is a depiction of a village in between a bunch of hills. These square things look pretty much villages of the Majapahit, by the way. These are Majapahit depictions and art. This is seems to be a forest, and this is a village up here. So these are basically just like carvings that tell a sort of story or some kind of meaning. Well, if you look at this seems like just a big rock of nothing. But if you pay attention a little bit, you can slightly see some Javanese text. Like this guy, he's Javanese, right? So there's a bunch of text. I think it's more clear on the back side. Yeah, as you can see. So this is Javanese script from ancient Java, or more like old historic levels of Java, historic time Java, around 937 AD in Lower Temple. So this was some kind of inscription from by Sri Maharaja Pusindok. It contains a royal decree from King Sindok to designate a piece of Kakajan rice field in Anjukladang as tax-exempt land. So this is basically like some kind of reward for the villagers of Anjukladang. I don't know how to pronounce that. For service and helping to fight against the king's enemies. Pretty neat, but you can barely read any of this because this is very. I mean, you can barely see the Japanese text, but it's there if you pay attention closely. Sweet, cool stuff.
Okay, guys. So guys, that's all for our little vlog. Yeah, we saw a lot of things that we didn't record since there was a lot of interesting things. Thank you for watching this Museum Gajah. Bye bye Museum Gajah.